Good morning, class. Today we'll be learning about how to demonstrate the command of conventions of English, capitalization, punctuation, and spelling when writing. The first convention we will be learning about is semicolons. Semicolons help you connect two related ideas. An example of this would be Johnny bought a delicious apple from the store. Johnny loves apples. These ideas can be connected because they are independent clauses. However, you cannot connect an independent with a dependent clause when using a semicolon. Here's an example of wrong use of a semicolon. Johnny bought a delicious apple from the store because he loves apples. Why is this grammatically incorrect? Because he loves apples is a dependent clause. Therefore, you cannot connect the two ideas with a semicolon. Here's a review question for you guys. Ted bought another video game today. Ted really loves video games. Is this a correct use of a semicolon? And why do you think so? Yes, it is. And this is because these are two independent clauses and therefore can be connected with a semicolon. Here's the second usage of semicolons. Another use of semicolons is when you use a conjunctive adverb. Conjunctive adverbs join words or phrases together. They provide a smooth transition between two independent clauses. Here's a few examples for you guys. I would prefer if you guys wrote these down. If not, they're there for you for your future use. My PowerPoint is on your Wikispaces, so it's up to you to write these down and utilize this for your future papers, but take a second to let you guys write this down. Alright, is everybody good? Alrighty. Alright, here's the first use of conjunctive adverbs. The first type, main phrase, conjunctive adverb, and then main phrase. Here's an example for you guys. I am playing in the football game today, therefore we will win. And yes, I might be, thrown back to my high school days for you guys, but I'm just kidding. You still need two independent clauses though. Uses of conjunctive adverbs continued. The second type initiates, pauses, or concludes a sentence. Do not need two independent clauses. Does not always need a comma. Here's an example. Instead, you will go thereafter. That's an example of using conjunctive adverbs to initiate a sentence. And here is an example of a pause. She will, therefore, walk to school. Let's review. Semicolons have many uses. It looks like this. Can be used with conjunctive adverbs, helps initiate pauses, and adds meaning to sentences. However, there is a debate over its usefulness. Especially amongst college professors, some see it as just kind of a break, or it just kind of pauses in the middle of a sentence and just disrupts the flow of things. Whether it interrupts the flow of sentences is completely based on your professor's discretion. It adds and shows knowledge of grammar. Personally, I prefer the use of them if you use them correctly. Cough, cough, for your future papers. Alright, here's the next term we will be learning about. Colons. Colons introduce a series of items. Example, I want the following: books, pens, papers, and markers. Colons, however, follow a set of 6 rules. The first rule is that it can introduce a series of items. The second, avoid usage after a verb, such as I want sugar, flour, and powder. Want is a verb, therefore you cannot use the colon afterwards. Consistency with punctuation. For example, if you have a list and you have A, B, and C, and you start off and you don't capitalize A, and you start off with I want paper, and then in the second, for B, you say I want plastic, but you capitalize the I, therefore you are not being fluent with your punctuation. It can be used between two independent clauses, unlike a semicolon. It can introduce a long quote. If you're, instead of using a comma, you can use the colon. If you're quoting a long line from a book, then you can use the colon instead of comma in a business letter, such as Dear Mr. Black, comma, or Dear Mr. Black, colon. Correct and incorrect usage. Incorrect usage, I want, like the example before, because you cannot use the verb. So I want butter, sugar, and flour is incorrect. The correct way to say this would be I want the following: butter, sugar, and flour. Here's a few more examples. Also in this context, I want an assistant who can do the following: A. Input data. B. Write reports. C. Complete tax forms. Also, as you can see with A, B, and C, the punctuation has stayed the same. Therefore, this is a correct usage of the semicolon. If the I in input data was capitalized and the W in write and the C in complete were lowercase, then this would be an incorrect usage. Another advantage of colons: colons can combine independent clauses. Reminder, semicolons cannot. To explain, illustrate, or expand on the first sentence is another example. Here's an example of such that. He got what he worked for. He really earned that promotion. These connect two related ideas and expand on the first sentence. The correct usage between two independent clauses and elaborates on the first sentence. Alright guys, here is your opportunity for some extra credit. Reminder, this is your only extra credit opportunity for this semester. First, you must research conjunctive adverbs. I have given you some of the conjunctive adverbs from one of the slides before, and hopefully you guys wrote them down for future use. I would like you to bring in a list of at least 10, not including the examples I gave you, and also use them in a sentence with a semicolon. So, for each 10 that you bring in, you have to use them in a sentence. Also, I want these typed, double-spaced, and 12-point font.